Da 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 da. We've done this before, but we're doing this again because it's been years, and I think I didn't do a good job on the first time I read King Lear. So let us get started with William Shakespeare's King Lear. Today we'll be summarizing acts number 1 to acts number 2, and these are the juicy ones, though they are not the most impactful emotionally. Doesn't mean they aren't impactful emotionally, it just they aren't the most. Let's get this started with King Lear. Lear is the king of Britain. And as the king of Britain, he has several responsibilities. But the problem is he's super old, like in his 30s. That's pretty old for his time. Or maybe he was in his 40s. The book never specifies his age. It just says that he's really, really old. And as a result, he wants to go ahead and retire. He has 3 daughters. The oldest one, Goneril. The middle daughter, Cordelia. Sorry, not Cordelia. Regan. And the very, very younger daughter, the youngest daughter, she's Cordelia. So blue is Regan, red is Goneril, and yellow is Regan. I might have messed this up, so correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below. Either way, he decides to go ahead and spend the last of his days in his retirement going ahead and visiting his children. So what does he do? He decides to split his kingdom into 3 parts, and giving the most of his kingdom towards the daughter who professes her love to him the most and the best. So what does he do? He asks each of them to come to him personally and then to proclaim their love. From oldest to youngest, obviously. Goneril comes in and she's like, "I love you like the world, Daddy." And he's all like, "Yeah, you love me a lot. I'll give you a lot of land. Here you go." And then Regan comes up and she's all like, "I love you more than Goneril, Daddy." And he's all like, "Oh, you do? Okay, here's more land." And then his youngest daughter comes, Cordelia, and she's all like, "I do love you a lot, Daddy, but I can't say I love you as much as they did. That would be lying. If I go to my husband, then if I'm married, then a husband comes first." And he's like, "You don't love me the most, don't you? You, banish. I disown you. Get out of my kingdom. And your piece of land, I'm giving them to your sisters." Oh, and I should also mention that Cordelia has several suitors. One being the king of Burgundy, which I will draw right now, and the other one being the king of France. Oh, why did I draw him as a female? The king of France. And now the king of Burgundy is all like, "Yeah, time to get out of here." But then the king of France is like, "Oh, impressive. This girl might not have any land or title, but she definitely does go ahead and have a good standing with her father. I'm gonna make her my queen." And she sends away to marriage without the blessing of her father. And then there's this subplot. I should first mention, of course, the Earl of Kent and the Earl of Gloucester. Now, the Earl of Kent he's like the most loyal person towards the king, and he's all like, "Dang, Lear, you really sure about all this? Cause this is a pretty big mistake. Knowing your 2 oldest daughters, they're probably not the wisest people to give your kingdom to. You're banished too. Don't you dare talk trash about the daughters who say they love me most." Whoa, what did I do? "Get out of here within 6 days. Starting now." Okay, fine. And he leaves. And Gloucester's all like, "Dang, that's unfortunate." And then Gloucester has a son, and he's all like, "I'm scared that my son is going to go ahead and take like my powers away from me." And he has 2 sons. What they do in the end was this, that Edgar decides to all like, "Yeah, I want to go ahead and get all his power," but he likes his bastard son better, Edmund. This is Edgar, this is Edmund. And as a result, he creates a scheme where he would go ahead and make Edmund look like he's trying to go ahead and kill him. And as a result, he asks Edmund to go ahead and try to duel him a little bit. And then while Edmund decides to go away, he goes ahead and cuts himself and makes him bleed. And then the Gloucesters are like, "Who the hell did this?" And then he says, "Someone, I couldn't see where. Where did he go that way?" And then eventually he goes and keeps feeding him lies that your son Edmund is going ahead and trying to get your power. And of course that goes ahead and makes him enraged and decides to do something about this. And in the end, Edgar's the one who wants his power. And while this subplot is happening, what is Lear doing? Lear decides that, oh, retirement time, I'm gonna go ahead and spend my time with Goneril. And then he goes to Goneril's castle, where she opens him initially with very big and warm arms. Well, at least she was acting like she was. But then later, she orders her servants to go ahead and act as if Lear was like a stranger, and that to go ahead and treat him disobediently. And Lear's all like, the heck, man, Goneril? I gave you my land for not to be treated this badly. How dare your servants treat my servants badly? And she's like, yeah, all your pompous, they're rude, and they are going to go ahead and trash this place. Get out of here. And he's like, ah, but I'm your... No, not care. Get out of here. Go, bye-bye. How rude. And then she goes ahead and leaves and decides to go to Reagan's place. I might have misdone the color because I forgot what the colors were. And at Reagan's place, just assume this is Reagan. She is now a partial Queen of Britain. And then after that entire journey, where he also meets Kent, who disguised himself as a little peasant along the way, they go ahead and meet up. They're all like, yeah, Reagan, your sister's like a madman. She won't accept me even though I'm her father. And then she's all like, maybe she's right. Just go back and apologize to her. You're old, and you're a fool too. So, listen to us. We're going to be right nowadays, because we are wiser than you. And he's all like, boom, what the heck, man? And then he's begging Reagan to go ahead and let him stay here for shelter with his servants. And she's like, yeah, no, bye-bye. And eventually she does let him in for a bit, but then she tells him to leave. This is when he starts realizing that this might have been a mistake. And that's where Act 2 pretty much ends. And we'll be talking about Acts 3, 4, and 5 next week. I hope to see you guys soon. Until next time, Shihana, peace. Bye-bye.